Okay, well, is that me?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're ready to rock and roll. Three, 2, 1, go.
Hello friends, my name is Gloria Watson, and this is my very best friend of all time, Marisa Barrett.
Marisa Barrett is my name, and we are the bestest of friends.
No matter what
years.
any of your friends.
No matter what any one of our other friends say,
No.
it's the two of us.
Amen. So, Marisa, this is a completely new adventure for us.
Mm-hmm.
I am
Yes, it
so
is.
excited to be doing this here with you. So welcome to our Working Moms in Real Estate podcast. We are so excited that you're here, and we hope that we can bring you some
Laughter
for
some
sure. Joy.
tips,
Yeah.
you know? And we're here today because we've decided to do a podcast, and we want to share that with you guys. And the goal of our podcast is, or the name of our podcast rather, is Working Moms in Real Estate.
And if the name doesn't say it all, we'll tell you. It's because we're working moms and we're in real estate.
Yes.
So it's
Our focus won't only be real estate, but
No.
we'll put tips in there because that's our
Yes.
backgrounds.
so we are immersed in real estate every single day, and we both love what we do. So we wanted to be able to bring some information and education about real estate, but really it's so much fun. We love being together and just having conversations. But every time that we got together, we were having these great informational conversations that we decided other people should know about some of this stuff that we talk about every day. But it can't all be about real estate.
No, it's going to be about moms, mom life. It's going to be about beauty hacks. It's
Beauty
going to
hacks.
be about, we're going to invite guests. We're
Yes.
going to have women from all ages, all backgrounds, some who may be a mom, who are not a mom, who are an aunt or a cousin or a friend of a mom, just
So many people.
for us all to get together and share life together and have a laugh.
Well, I think so many times it's really easy to isolate ourselves. At least in our industry, it's not that big. We don't get to go to work every day. I don't get to go to work. You do get to, but you're still by yourself.
Yeah.
And unless you go out there and you're intentional about meeting other people, and I think that we find that a lot. If you're in the corporate world, or even if you're just in the retail world, or even if you're a stay-at-home mom, that is such a common thing. Like we tend to isolate because it isn't. We find so much enjoyment and pleasure in scrolling that we're not interacting like we used to.
Which I hope people are scrolling and listening to our podcast.
Don't scroll until you listen to our podcast. But really, we want you to interact. So we are in Central Texas. Right now we are recording in Salado, but we'll probably end up recording anywhere between Austin, Temple, even probably Waco. We're going to be in different places, and you'll get to meet a lot of different people that are going to come through as guests.
Yep.
Well,
let's introduce ourselves a little bit deeper. So what can you tell our millions of viewers about yourself, Gloria?
We have high hopes. So I think just keeping it brief and short, I'm a mom of four girls, and now I have a bonus son. I was actually just married about a month and a half ago. So it's a lot of different changes in my life, a lot of really exciting things. But up until this point, I've been a single mom for a long time. I ended up here in Texas because of the military. So we were a military family coming here in 2002. Such a long time ago. I was
you about
so
12
young.
then?
I was 17. Not that far from there, but it seems like such a long time ago, and everything has changed since then. My status from coming in here from Texas, going through a divorce, being a single mom, and joining the corporate world. I was a stay-at-home mom for a long time until my kids were. I think my oldest one was 6 when I entered the working world. It was really hard. It was a challenge because all I known was staying home with my girls and spending time with them, and it was a big So I went through a lot of different jobs. I'm not even going to go through all of them, but I'll tell you.
Let's go through a few of them. I think you should, because they're interesting.
The one that really gets people is working at a pawn shop. I learned about diamonds and really old computers. I was really good at sales, even at a pawn shop, to say.
What do you want? You want this?
Yeah,
You want that? Yeah,
exactly.
I like it.
I worked at an airport. I was marshaling planes and loading up bags and doing customer service. So it was like from all the way from front to back, everything in between. Whenever you have a small airport, that's kind of what you get. But it was fun. It was different. I still couldn't support my kids, you know, but it was so much fun. It's so true what they say. Either you have a lot of time or you have money, but you often don't have those. I think it's actually something that we meant to talk about on our podcast. A lot of people talk about balance, but that's really hard to find. That's not reality.
Right.
You're either going to have more time and no money, or more money and more time, or, you know, you're going to have a high in your career or a high in your family life, but it's rarely at the same time. Right? They're not in the same place. So eventually I did go back to college, and I finished my education when I was 35. So that's something I'm really proud of. I wanted to finish before my kids were out of high school. And then after that, it was still hard. Turns out it's actually harder to get a job with a college degree. It was just like so overqualified, but not enough experience. And the ones that did want that kind of stuff, I had a good friend at the time that suggested I try real estate, because she just thought I have a heart for service, which I did, and I love being able to help people. But going through the corporate world, what I found is that you have to follow their rules, right? When you work for someone, you're gonna have to do whatever they ask you to or not ask you to. And a lot of the times as a Christian, my values didn't always line up. Most of the time they didn't line up with the corporate world. I probably could have gone in trouble. I didn't. I was pretty fortunate, but there was times that I would pray for people at the the car rental counter, you know, kind of that kind of stuff. And when I started real estate, it just all seemed to come together. Like, it was a perfect fit. I love what I do. I love helping people. I like doing it on my terms. I love the enjoyment to really be able to see people obtaining the American dream, people that never thought that they could. You know, and being able to have the tools to do that and to help others has really been what has allowed me to have joy and stay in this job, because I never stayed in jobs for very long. I think my max was like 2 to 2.5 years. It just never found joy in the things that I was doing. And that is how I ended up in real estate. Loving it. And that is where I met you at real estate college.
At real estate college. Yes, and I moved to Texas 7 years ago and met Gloria, and it's funny how she's saying that she came from corporate to now real estate, where you are your own boss and have more flexibility to do things that you couldn't before, and you answer to yourself as a boss. Oh, yes. And I came from an opposite background. I was a hairstylist for almost 20 years and ran my own business. So I could say and do, you know, I had full creativity. I was my own boss. I just made people feel good, look good. And then I started to develop tendonitis in my shoulders. So my friend told me, hey, you should go to real estate school. So when we moved here from New Mexico, I went to real estate school, and that's how I met Gloria. And then
It was love at first sight.
It was love at second day. First day, she was the one in the back that was, you know, there's always someone in the class who wants to like raise their hand and talk the whole time. That was
I read the entire book. So, you know that book, the very first real estate book, is like this thick. I read it. It took me a whole week. Like Monday through Friday.
I didn't read the whole book.
No, nobody does. You just go to that class, but I didn't know that.
Oh,
so
my gosh.
When I showed up, I already knew all the information. That was the only book I actually read from start to finish. But it was great. I felt very smart.
That's
I felt wicked
hilarious.
smart.
She wasn't. But anyways, it was love at second day.
I love that you always tell people it was not love at first sight. It's that first day.
It was second day. Yeah, it was.
I didn't like you the first day.
I'm keeping it real. If I can't keep it real, I can't lie. But anyways, so now I was a realtor for 3 whole months, but being that I didn't have a single friend here, I didn't know the area, I came to work for a builder. And so now I am all the way deep into corporate America, corporate job that I do have to follow every rule and answer to everything, which I gladly do. I do love my job, but it's her and I took like kind of different paths. I had the same career forever. She was like a gypsy, and then and then I have 3 boys. They're teenagers now. I have one that's getting ready to graduate high school, and a sophomore and a freshman. And so my life is always fun, always something different and unexpected happening at home. But that's me. Oh, and I am a single mom, so that's huge for me. That's new also. Like, you know, in the last couple of years, doing that all on my own while working. My whole life completely changed moving to Texas, and it's been very difficult, but a blessing. And you know,
I think we always say, it's so funny, like we kind of flocked, or you know, opposite in different ways. But the one thing that I think we were just talking about even before this, we both feel, or at least I know I do, and I think you mentioned it, but I want to put words in your mouth, is that it's almost like God has us in a place so we have to be completely dependent on Him.
Yep.
And if you guys can't tell, we are Christians, and you guys are going to hear a lot about God.
Yep. He's part of my everyday, every second. I was just telling Gloria that I need Him to fill my cup every day, and when He does, I'm able to maintain work and kids and all the things that I'm doing. If I didn't have God, I would be full of anxiety and lost every day.
It's hard. Life is hard. I feel that whenever you feel that you're the only one in control, it has to feel so completely exhausting. I can't imagine a life where I thought I was in control of everything. So I am so thankful. Yeah, absolutely. So if you are in that place and you need support, give us a call. We'll find you somebody. There's so many different resources now that are available. So yeah, I think our stories are so different and similar at the same time. I love it. And I love the fact that you have all boys, and I did have all girls up until recently. So it's pretty interesting to hear some of your stories and how they're sometimes totally different than my stories, but also sometimes very much alike. If you saw my daughter, you wouldn't know that she was a girl. She looks like a skater boy, but also listens to the girliest music you can think of. She just likes the 90s. I tell her she looks like a, she has a chain belt.
I knew it when you did this. I was like, I know that. That's so funny.
We go anywhere, and she's like very feminine features, but she parts her hair in the middle and doesn't wear makeup yet. You know, she's only 12. And like the boys are looking at her, and like she looks feminine from her face, so the boys are like, but then the girls are like, you know, because of her clothes is so baggy that no one can really. And she was so upset. We went to the dentist, and they called her buddy because she was crying. She didn't. They put shots in her mouth, and she's like, "I'm not doing it anymore." And the dentist called her. "It's okay, buddy. It's okay." I was like, "Well, it's your chain."
Well, it's your chain wallet and your baggy clothes.
Exactly.
She's still young. I think, like, because you can do tomboy and still be feminine, so, but she's too young to do the feminine with the tomboy look. You know what I mean?
Well, she just doesn't want it yet. And which, one of my girls likes wearing belly shirts, so I'm okay with my other one not wanting any of that yet, you know, so. Well, beauty is hard anyway. Like beauty, if you're not taught it from the beginning, it can be challenging. And I think that my 12-year-old is kind of going against it, because since she's been growing up, I've been in this role where I have to look a certain way, and maybe that's what she perceives beauty, you know, so I don't know. but it is a very important aspect.
I think it's, when it comes to regards for her, it's like the way that kids dress these days is so personal, and they're trying to come into who they are, which, they have so much time for it. But
They do.
yes, we're going to be doing beauty hacks. So like quick little hacks, to help you guys in your day-to-day lives, and us, if you guys have hacks to share with us.
Absolutely. But also we're going to be sharing some of the products that we use in case you guys like them. Because I think that a lot of the times I love word of mouth. If you tell me that you like something, that's my best review.
Absolutely.
So
yep, the word of mouth is always the best. Or hey, your skin looks pretty, what are you using, or your hair looks shiny, hey, it's humid outside, what's in your hair that's not making it look poofy?
Seriously, you are the queen of
that. It's called Vaseline.
It's so...
Just joking.
Our viewers are gonna
Vaseline. Vaseline is a good
Shea
beauty
butter.
hack, though. Did you know that?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's excellent. My mom has been using Vaseline to take off her makeup for probably 50 years. She has no wrinkles. I am not lying. She's never had a facial, uses Avon skincare, never had a needle injection, nothing. And she has no wrinkles.
What do you use to take off your makeup?
Those like...
So not Vaseline?
What you're saying is you're not using the beauty hack, so don't talk about it. Anyways, yes, thank you, Gloria.
I'm just kidding. I kid.
Well, we do. We mess with each other a lot, so you guys can buckle up.
Yeah.
For a ride.
So yeah, beauty hacks are super important. I think one of the biggest things that when I was thinking beauty hacks for our podcast, the biggest thing is we're so busy all the time that we have to find a way to make it more efficient, flexible. I think I've definitely walked out of my house with nothing on because it was just overwhelming of all the things.
You're talking makeup, I hope.
Makeup, yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, where are we going with this? Are we?
I watch people do their makeup and I'm like, how do you guys do this every day? How long does it take you to do your makeup?
5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not a contour and a highlighter and this and that. Like, I do my makeup quickly, and it's because it's like being a mom working, I don't have time to mess with it. Although if other ladies have that kind of time, it looks beautiful, but I don't, and so I do as quickly as I can to get out the door.
I'm wearing blush today because we had a photo shoot today. So thanks to you.
Yeah. We
did some headshots, and that's the only reason I'm wearing blush. But most of the time I do contouring because I don't put any other color in my face. I'm so allergic to everything. I have not found a blush that won't make me break out on my cheeks, and I have rosacea, so everything inflames them.
Wow.
But
I've never known that about her. I guess we aren't best friends. I'm kind of confused.
I feel like you're just trying to find a way out of being best friends.
I'm like, well, but that's a good thing to know, like, how are you dealing with that,
Yeah. I've used the same thing I've used for the last 15 years, and it's never changed because the doctor says the best thing. Have you ever heard Metro Gel?
No.
Metro Gel, I'm sure there's the a different name, but this is actually what's on the box, and it just helps with rosacea because I do have it pretty badly.
Wow, I've literally never noticed it. So whatever you're doing is it's working.
Well, alcohol makes it worse. Even I think caffeine can make it worse. A lot of the things that dilate your pores and allow things. Even if I don't wear makeup, it gets worse. If I wear makeup, because it stays on top of the skin, I can wash off, whatever stuff, dust and stuff that comes on your skin. But if I don't wear makeup, it actually gets worse.
You would think that I have rosacea because of how much blush I wear, but if I don't put blush on, I have no color in my cheeks. So
I love that you wear blush.
a big thing. I am
Yeah.
a blush gal.
I know you are. And I love that you sometimes have different colors, like they're different tones, and it kind of goes with the seasons.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that, but I still have yet to find one. And this is MAC, and if I don't take it off soon, by the end of the day, I'll start getting tiny little pustules on my cheeks.
How crazy.
Yeah. So,
Well, Gloria, and then our next thing that we'll be sharing with our friends is mom fails and mom wins. So do you have anything like that this week that's worth talking about?
you know what? I will say it's not. I don't even want to say that it's this week. I touch bases on my daughter dressing a little grunge and very tomboyish. That's something that I've struggled for a long time. And because I wanted to see her, you know, kind of progress in that process of going from a tomboy to being girlier. And for our wedding, she wanted to wear a suit, and we kind of struggled with that as well. So I wouldn't even say that this is a this week kind of mom fail, but I feel like in general, it's been one of those things that I know she is just being her, and she's just being in the trend, and she's trying to fit in. But I've tried to force her into just being more girly, and I finally feel that I've had this peace about it. Not because, again, it's not about her personality or anything. I just know she's trying to fit in. But because I know who she isn't going to change because of what she wears.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
She just wants to be accepted. And finally, I have peace about it. I don't know. We have our wedding reception coming up in October, so I don't know how that's going to go.
That's a long way away.
It's a long way away, but I'm at the point where
maturity-wise for her, you know what I mean?
it is true. And I'm at the point where if she wanted to wear that suit that we got her, because it is a three-piece suit, that I would be okay with her wearing it. Where as opposed to when we did our elopement, it was kind of a really stuck thing for me.
Yeah, I think that's great.
It's not.
And then you say, what about you, Marisa?
Yeah,
what about
but
your
I'm
mom?
done. I'm just kidding.
The podcast is over. We've run out of gas. What happened was we ate lunch.
We did. I feel
And
like
so we're now like this.
Yeah,
we gotta eat hungry and alert right after our coffee. Or we gotta record.
re-record.
But you're gonna have you can.
No, we're not
edit it.
gonna re-record.
No, we're not. We look too cute today after our photo shoot. But well, that's
Yeah, no, seriously.
Going back to
how did you do this week?
This week has been good. I mean, I am overwhelmed because, I've got my son's graduation, and then we're going to go on a couple college visits where he's doing a FCA awards, which is Future Christian Athletes. Then he's got a game. We have family. I mean, from basically today through the middle of June, my life is insane. And so I'd say that the win for me as a mom this week, I guess I had a fail and a win yesterday, because yesterday I was like getting overwhelmed and going, oh my gosh, like how am I going to do it all? And then I went back to the Fill My Cup, and I was like, Lord, if you could just give me everything I need spiritually, so that way I am equipped to take on all this busyness, that will be amazing. And he indeed did, and I felt like
awesome.
at peace. I slept good last night, so I feel like that is, because you want to do everything perfectly and everything. I'm kind of a control freak, and when I start trying to control everything, then I have to remember, like, kind of letting go, like you with Gianna.
Absolutely.
It's like, I'm like, you're doing everything you can. If something doesn't go the way you want, that's okay.
Yep.
It's
not the small mistakes that you make is not what kids remember. Like, my girls all have a we didn't have a lot of money when they were growing up, but we did do a lot of road trips.
But you do now, because I could use some money.
Like, so much money. We did road trips, and what they remember is the music. They don't remember when I got a ticket, where we went, that my car got towed because I parked on the side of the street. And after 5 o'clock in Washington, D.C., apparently You can't be parked there. They tow you onto the grass.
Wow.
We went around like 5 times on that street.
Yikes.
Anyway, they don't remember the little things that we think makes a fail.
For
you
sure.
know, they remember how, and as they get older, they'll remember how hard you tried, everything you did.
I will die trying.
Well, we don't want you to die. What colleges is he going to go to?
I don't know yet. We're visiting one in Arkansas on Monday, and then we're visiting one in Tampa 2 weeks later. And I'm, again,
He's
leaving it
gonna
all
go
up
to
to
Tampa
God.
just
I'm
because of
praying.
Florida.
I'm just praying for God to open those doors because he plays basketball. So he would be to play basketball. So I'm just, this is new because he was going to stay home and go to real estate school, and he didn't want to go to college. And so that's also, I'm like, most parents have those 3 to 4 years to prepare for, like, my kids probably leaving. I have had 3 weeks, and so it is overwhelming a little bit, but I know that God has a plan for him, and that's what I've always prayed for, and whatever is meant for him will be for him. So we'll see.
That's so awesome. That's so exciting.
But thank you guys for tuning in. We really hope that, you know, between the 3 of you or 1 million of you, that you guys had a little taste of what it's going to be like coming up.
Yes. And as we get ready with our guests coming up, we will let you guys know in advance who they're going to be. I know that we're going to have at the core of it all, we are in real estate. We are real estate moms. And while our kids probably take up, I don't know, most of our not working moments, when we are involved in work, it is all about real estate. And we want to educate you guys on some of that stuff because it's such an important aspect.
Yeah.
You know, you would never go to court if you needed an attorney, you would never go to court without an attorney.
Right.
You know, you would never do anything in a major life decision without actually getting advice from somebody. And real estate is one of those things that is so big, usually the biggest life investment decision that you're going to make as far as cost goes. And to do it without any education or knowledge, it's really, really scary.
Yeah.
So we want to just share some of that with you guys. And if you have questions, feel free to send them to us because we'd love to hear from you guys and answer some of those questions. But also our guests are going to bring their own knowledge. So the first guest that we're going to have is going to be a real estate lender.
Yep.
And she's going to answer some of those foundational questions. So the lender is going to help you answer some of those foundational questions of what it takes to be able to afford a house, if you need to work on your credit, and what you can do during the wait period to work on your credit, while we can help you answer the structural aspect of a home or in the location or all of those normal real estate questions.
Yep.
The lenders have different perspective and a different aspect to the real estate business.
Yes.
Who else are we going to have, Marisa?
We're going to have a local photographer who we just partnered with today, actually. She was doing a fundraiser for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So we got to be a part of that, which was really great. And then I think we have a surgeon.
A pediatric surgeon.
A pediatric surgeon.
So, yes. And these are all, you know, not everyone is going to be a mom, but these are women in business that want to share their wealth of knowledge with us.
Yep. Well, in fact, the photographer is not a mom. She's a young girl, so that will be fun.
We'll get to see her and her process of business, you know, building her business.
Yep.
So that'll be great to have her.
Yes.
So, and the esthetician. I think that's going to be so fun.
Yes, an esthetician. She
can tell us what to do to be more
if
beautiful.
You want to put more Vaseline on your face, if you want to.
But also, I know, I don't think I really dropped the bomb on you, but I think we should do an episode with you helping us figure out what are the best hairstyles for our ages.
Oh, I think when it comes to hair, I mean, and you don't have to film this if you don't want, but when it comes to hair, you could be 25 and have 4 strands of hair on your head. You need a shortcut. You could be 80 and have a ponytail that thick and have long, gorgeous hair. It's really about your hair texture, your face shape. are the two main things. Like how much hair is on your head, what kind of texture is it, and your
Are
face
you
shape.
gonna tell us what it can,
Well,
what it
Gloria
has to be?
had, you know, those like salt and pepper cuts in the early 90s that's like a wedge cut. She had one of those ones.
The pixie cut.
I don't think it was called a pixie, but it was called like a mushroom helmet cut.
Have you actually seen the picture?
You
Did I
sent
show
it
it
to
to
us
you?
in group at real estate
I
college.
think that's funny that you
But-
actually remember that.
Yeah,
She
I
said
will
this like
talk about that.
3 times
today.
I forgot that I sent that to you.
Yeah, so you did. You were like, because you had talked about it, and we were all, we want to see it, and so you sent it in our like real estate group chat.
Yeah.
And I was like,
With my baby
she
on
wasn't
a
lying. No,
And
I
Mickey
did a bad
Mouse
cut
next
too.
to me.
Trust me. After my second baby, I cut bangs and up to here, and all my clients would walk in and they were like, "Oh, you cut your hair." It's like, that's never a good thing. You know, that's like, you want someone to be like, "Oh my gosh, did you cut your hair? You look so cute." Not
Yeah.
like, "Oh, well, that's looks horrible. You made a mistake."
That is a haircut.
It literally looked like I was wearing a wig. It was hideous. So I can tease you because I've had that as well. So an ugly cut. But she did look very ugly with that cut. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding you.
I did. I don't want to say the word, but that's what I look like.
All right, and
Yeah.
then we're done, right?
Yeah, we're done.
Oh, yep. Mhm.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in, and we are excited to come back again next week.
Hit the like and smash
Yes.
subscribe button
And share.
and share. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
share, subscribe, smash.
Mhm.
My stepson says he's telling people that I'm an influencer because I'm on YouTube.
He
All my
is
real estate
adorable.
videos are on YouTube, so he tells people that I am an influencer.
Like,
I got like
she's
100.
famous.
I got 100 followers.
Yeah, I'm always like, do you think I'm gonna go viral with my video? And the boys are like, come on. I'm like, I got 1,000 views.